Yeah, well, I mean, we was at when I fought Larry Holmes. I didn't think that if I would have won, I would know all my friends, and I would have got eaten up alive. And I'm glad, in a way, it worked out fine for me because I'm here talking to you. I'm able to travel, and I did a lot more positive things after that fight. So I'm blessed. I'm still blessed.
Yeah, well, we're glad to hear that, Tim. I'm going to go talk to my co-host, Nick Powers.
Hey, Tim.
Nicky, what's up, Nick?
Not much. How you doing?
All right, good.
Now, you briefly touched on the fact that you wanted to fight Larry Holmes because of the fact that he beat Muhammad Ali. Now, you were a sparring partner for Ali for his fights with, I believe, both Holmes and with Trevor Berbick. So I just wanted to know.
No, when he fought Larry Holmes.
Okay.
I was a sparring partner for when he fought Larry Holmes.
Okay, well, my question is if you could actually touch on the experience of actually sparring and training with the champ in the twilight of his career. What was that like?
Well, you know, the thing is with me, Ali was sick. And Ali he was all right. He lost a lot of weight. He had thyroid problems, you know, and sparred him. I sparred him, but he wasn't as strong as he was. You know, he wasn't as strong as he was in the past because right before he fought Larry Holmes, he was sick. He was real sick. I heard the doctors talking. So Larry Holmes only beat a Muhammad Ali that was a sick man. He had thyroid problems, everything. I was right there listening to the doctors tell Slim Robinson, my trainer. And so I sparred with him, and, you know, he was telling me we was working real hard. We worked hard a lot, but you could tell he wasn't the same Muhammad back in right before he fought Larry Holmes.
All right. Now, Tim, one of the things that kind of marked your career a little bit was in the 80s you had a lot of problems with Don King. Could you maybe tell the people out there what those issues were?
Well, I'm just going to cut straight to the point. The bottom line is that I didn't want no enemies in the boxing. I'm an athlete. I didn't really want to cause any trouble on anybody. But when you're not receiving the right wages you're supposed to receive when you fight or whatever the purse, and a lot of things is in shamble. I mean, it caused a problem. So it wasn't my fault that things happen the way they happen. You know, I'm an honest and straight up guy. It's just that the promoter, he wasn't honest. So that's the bottom line. In other words, I fought Frank Bruno in England. He got $1.4 million, and I got $95,000, and I knocked him out.
Yeah.
Okay, I knocked him out in the 11th round, and he got $1.4 million, and I got $95,000. So that should be enough to you to realize what happened. And he's not the only individual that is doing these type of things. So it was back then. Now it's a little bit better, but back then it was kind of rough. So guys like me, David Bates, Trevor Berbick, Penguin Thomas, even Miss Green, all of us, we opened the door to let a lot of the guys today sail clean of a lot of the negative things that happened in the 80s and the 60s and the 70s, even in the early 90s. So I think we did a sacrifice so Bernard Hopkins and all those guys can make good money and people will be watching them, watching the promoters, so they can't do what they do. But nowadays, I'm going to say real quick, I believe that everybody deserves a piece. Everybody deserves to get treated fairly. Promoters, managers, and fighters. I used to be bitter about promoters and managers because of what happened to me, but it ain't going to help boxing. So what's going to help boxing is we all try to work out fair deals and all try to look out for each other, or else it's not going to work.
Absolutely.
Right.
Now, Champ, I had once read, and I don't know if this is true, but I had read that you once said that after your fight with Andrew Golota, that he was the hardest person he threw the hardest punch that had ever hit you. Can you?
No, that wasn't true.
Okay, I did actually read that. Can you talk to us a little bit about your fight with Golota?
Yeah, I felt that the promoters withheld some training expense money that I needed to prepare for the fight. I should have just tried to do it. They just stayed without money. I needed to pay sparring partners, and it was you know, I'm not going to blame her on that. I just wasn't in the best of shape, and I was treated good by the Polish promoter, and even in the beginning he talked nice to me. Ziggy was his name, and the Polish people treated us real good. It was a great experience. It's just that my mind wasn't right, and my mind wasn't right, and I just went up there and fought him. That's all. Over in Poland. It was a great experience.
No, and I think that's interesting that you fought him in Poland, because I think he's actually going back to fight the Polish cruiserweight champion, Atomic, over there. And if I'm not mistaken, your fight with Golota was either the first professional boxing fight over there or one of the first ones over there in a long, long time.
Right, I think it was. As a matter of fact, our fight was in the stadium where Hitler spoke. So you know, man, you just don't know. It's just being places and being in historical places, you know, that overrides a lot of negative stuff. But even though I'm talking about negative things that happen to boxers, it overrides because it's just a beautiful thing to be fighting in these places. But you also got to be treated fair. So, you know, I feel good that I went there. I went to all these places, but you're an athlete, you're a businessman and all that. You have to get treated fairly.
All right. Well, Tim, we actually have a question from our chat room, and he wants to know what was the discrepancy in the two Bone Crusher Smith fights?
Well, the first one I clearly beat him. 12 out of 12 rounds. The second one, it was political, and Don Kingham was harassing me for like 2 weeks, threatening me that if I didn't fight, because I really was supposed to fight Tony Tubbs. So really, Bone Crusher Smith got a title out of fight because I told everybody I wasn't going to fight. And at the last minute, the lawyer came to my room and said, I think in your best interest that you better fight. So maybe they gave him some money. I don't know. But the bottom line is I wasn't in shape. I told my corner people, I said, look, hey, I'm going down. I'll put up a little fight, but I'm not going 15 rounds with a guy. And I'm telling you the truth, after it all happened, I'm going down. And I wouldn't have to stand there and lie. It's a shame. I mean, that Bone Crusher think he fairly won it. But if you look at the film, if you look at both films, you'll say, wow, something was really wrong with Tim. Well, I didn't really want to fight because all I knew was Don King and them wanted the title. They wanted that belt, and the belt meant something. So I gave it to them. You know, the belt symbolizes money and power, all three of those belts. And if you get them, you know, if you get those belts, you can you can control that belt. So I know all he wanted was a belt. He didn't care if Bone Crusher had it or I had it. He wanted control over it. And I was one of the guys that wasn't really giving him control, even though I was with him. So, and right after that, we went on and had a lawsuit against him. And then I found out there was a lot more people than Don King doing it. It wasn't just him. There's a lot of other people doing it.